Hi Taurus, here is a general look at your solar chart for September 2014, and the Sun is always in a good angle to your Sun sign in most of September each year. This year your mind's going to be in a practical gear. You will be looking at things and evaluating, but I think things are going to be clearer to you perhaps in the second half of the month. So don't try to come to any really clear-cut decisions or take make any kind of important move, because you might not have all the information, or it might be that things are a bit unfocused and sort of pixelated. And you can sense and feel better with this energy, but actually it really is good for artistic type pursuits, imaginative work, spiritual work, healing work, you know, anything to do with healing and helping also others helping you as well, but being kind to others, you know, even when you're not in the mood, and that doesn't mean, however, letting them walk all over you, of course. But yes, you might have to blow the dust off some stuff that's been piling up in the corner and deal with it now. Knotty details, perhaps, to-do list, things that you've just maybe put on one side. Also repairs, maintenance, very practical things, being useful to others, being of service to others as well. But the Sun is in a hugely creative area, so you can be creatively useful at this time, and really the Sun is in a very powerful position up until the 23rd. So the sunny side, you know, you can walk on the sunny side of the street whilst you are doing the duties, doing the chores, dealing with what's piled up, thinking about the mechanics, about using the skills, you know, thinking about the mechanical side of life, and indeed looking into maintenance and repairs and getting somebody to help out, or in fact you're doing them yourself. But there is all this very strong sunny energy, so you can be you know, happy whilst, you know, whistling while you're working, really. This is also the energy of children, so it might pan out more that the focus for you is more on, in a practical way, on children, or you were thinking practically on their behalf, or it's just that children, yours or others, young people, are more center stage in your life at the moment. Also, it can mean romantic partners, or partners, you know, that one has a sort of romantic connection with, intimate connection with, and it may be that you are and somebody are you know, bonding together. But having said all that, we do have this long transit of Saturn going through your opposite sign, Scorpio. It's due to finish at the end of the year, so it's kind of 2/3, 3/4 done now. But you know, there still is a way to go, and until mid-month we do have Mars in that area as well. So there's going to be possibly some pressure on you, which you feel, whether it's real or imagined. And of course, if we're imagining it, in a way, it's still real, isn't it? To do with their opinions, requirements, behaviors, their limitations that they're putting on you, their challenges that they're bringing your way. Whether that is in a personal, close relationship, which kind of pushes the buttons, or if it's in a kind of more, you know, it's at one or more removes from you, so you're not so emotionally involved. It could be like that too. But like I say, things tend to come clearer in the second half of August. in the second half of September. But from the end of August and into the first week of September, your energies could dip, or you could just feel that there's more on your shoulders. You could just feel a bit in the doldrums there, but it's quite fleeting. And you will need to push just that little bit harder to push through with things, but you need to push through with faith. You need to push through with sensitivity, with delicacy, with subtlety, in my opinion, because of the presence of so much Neptune. And Neptune tends to fog material issues. And so there can be ambiguity swirling around, whether that's to do with you personally and any type of job that you're doing, or, you know, whether that is self-imposed work, or whether that's, you know, work that you're going out to doing, or colleagues, co-workers, or indeed it can be to do with health issues. Your own, somebody else's, or it might be something else completely, but it's like the clarity isn't there and you're doubting about something, or there can even be a wrong evaluation because you've been deluded, or you've deluded yourself. But anyway, all I'm trying to say is that the first half of the month, things don't come as clearly with the material world as they will in the second half of the month. So I don't know why I didn't say it like that in the first place, but there you go. And also, you know, you will have almost like filtered things through organically more in the first half of the month, and that's probably not a bad thing, because most of the world runs kind of from the chin up, you know. Right, and you're a very physical, you know, body-centered sign, so it's probably a good thing, but don't try to just, you know, off the top of your head, in a sort of tense stress kind of a way, because actually there could be some jitters in the second week, more in the first bit of the second week, and you could be preoccupied, but you should keep an open mind despite the tendency to sort of get lost in an idea which just, you know, you just got this record going round and round and round and round in your head. You may see others as trying to impose their opinions or their will upon you, or they may see that you're trying to do that to them. Whatever's going on, though, it does just encourage you to think more deeply, to think more, again, organically, to stick up for what you really, in your deep pit of your soul, knows is important. If it comes to that, it might be something quite a lot, you know, more shallow really than that, but there could be a moment there when you really have to go, you know, which color lipstick do I really need now? Or, you know, if it's not that, then am I really going to accept the offer of this money for my much beloved old, whatever it is you're selling, car, if it's a guy, or whatever, or am I just going to stick out for more, hold out for more? So it's that kind of thing, but you get it anyway. So that's when you are going through like this sort of sticky patch, thinking more deeply, sticking up for yourself, sticking to your guns, not being too stubborn though, Taurus. Because sometimes, you know, you miss your win point by being a little bit too stubborn. But you do not lack grit. Nobody could say that about you. So maybe you or they are being sort of very totally convinced about something, 100%, very passionate, though it can be in another way, you know, there's this passion coming in as well. But it might not be sort of romantic passion, it might be another kind of passion. But just wait until the second half of the month until things get in perspective. You can get things more in proportion. You feel as though, okay, I'm looking at it from more sides now. And we all know, no matter what our chart is, no matter what pattern we're running, what software we're running, we all know in the very heart of hearts that looking at something in a broader more holistic, more 360-degree sort of a way, is actually ultimately more satisfying than getting all sort of worked up about just one particular idea or feeling, you know. Anyway, so that would be, you know, there's a lot of Neptune and Pluto and Saturn around this month. So these are the kinds of ways, particularly the Neptune thing with the not getting the clarity, you see, but and then the Pluto thing with getting obsessive ideas in your mind, and then the Saturn thing, feeling as though you've got more on your shoulders. But that's going on at the end of the month, and feeling a little bit like, you know, stuck, and that you've just got to get organized and get things in order, which is a good way to use the Mars-Saturn energy. So anyway, your ruling planet until the 6th is actually right at the root of your chart, sort of giving you underfloor heating. It's a really, really nice place for Venus to be, enjoying nature, enjoying beauties around you, in your social life, in your family, in your, literally your surroundings, your environment, feeling a little nostalgic, feeling a little bit sentimental, harking back to the past coming into the present, being more aware of parental influences or just old mates, you know, and maybe a little tear coming to the eye every now and again, but inwardly beginning to feel more balanced, more aligned. And then Venus moves on the 6th, and that means that you express yourself in a more creative, spontaneous kind of a way. It connects with children, young people, pets, partners, and also it's very empowering. You can be doing something which you get a lot out of, that you really love to do. It can be quite an anonymous, modest little thing, or it can be a huge thing, center stage when all eyes are on you, or it might be at several sort of places in between those two extremes. But anyway, it is a very nice position of Venus there for your ruling planet. And social get-togethers, I call it the house of fun, you know. Social get-togethers may be you know, very rewarding, but also it's the area where you feel as though you're supported with speculative interests, with hobbies, pastimes, fun things, leisure pursuits, performance type art, and art in general. So that's what's not to like about that. Venus is a bit self-indulgent actually, so try not to burn the candle at both ends. Now until mid-month, Mars is in your opposite sign, as I've said before, and sparks could fly because you will have to cross swords maybe with another, but you can elicit strong opinions in each other, but also you can elicit strong feelings. You might get somebody very pulled towards you and you're very pulled towards them, and you will benefit from the position of Venus to try and keep things on an even keel, however. If you are working one-to-one, this can be a very dynamic, lively time. Somebody can be working very hard on your behalf, though. Somebody can really be helping you out, and if you are giving them the space, if you're not trying to crowd them, then maybe it can, you know, be very much in your favor, and it can be invaluable to you. But you do need to really practice your people skills during this transit. You'll be more, you know, deliberately diplomatic, because Mars here can make us come across as a bit over the top with others. And then from mid-month, Mars moves into a different sector. It's about new beginnings, it's about clearing the decks, it's about decluttering, it's about letting go, it's about acceptance, it's about being smart with how you change the gear, not seeing it as abandonment, loss, lack, scarcity, seeing it as, okay, you know, small is beautiful, less is more, you know, that kind of thing. You could be keeping certain things to yourself, you know, you could be repressing a few things, but maybe it's just not time to come up with some things. But if you find at least one, you're not blabbering everywhere, but you're finding one really trustworthy confidant, and with that person you can share, because you really do trust that they are going to be detached but sensitive in their opinion. This can be also issues around property and money. I put that at the end. But yeah, that can be like a major thing with Mars here, and it might be that some debt is repaid to you. You know, you don't have to immediately go, whoops, it's about property and money, because actually it could be coming to you. You know, there's no opinion with the planets which way the energy is going. So stick up for yourself, because this could be a clash of morals here in some cases, or if it's not, it can be somebody being very passionate towards you, being very passionate towards somebody, hopefully in a good way, not in a negative, coercive kind of a way, and a win-win solution can be found. And the Sun moves on the 23rd into a more service-orientated area. It's the same area as the position of Mercury, and so more of the same there. And just by the way, you Taurians born in the middle of the last 10 days of actually it's not in the middle, it's in the last, well, it's the end of the middle 10 days and the beginning of the last 10 days of the sign, always 17 to 22 degrees rising. You're going to feel the energy of Saturn in your house of opposite numbers and partners, and you know, in that area there the most, balancing your point of view with that of others, and feeling as though you know, your wings have been clipped in some cases. But this is a learning curve, and you're learning how to be in a relationship differently, and indeed getting more serious about certain relationships, some of you, and learning a lot from them. And then Jupiter has begun this new cycle right at the root of your chart, which is always a nice place to have Jupiter, and helping you to settle emotionally, helping you to balance the books with the past, with yourself. This is a year-long cycle. It'll be a gradual balancing and harmonizing, to do with family, to do with property, to do with your inner self, your past, as I said, the history, the legacies, the baggage, and it is a very good time to relocate for those of you who are looking around to relocate. And you'll be learning a lot from your community, teaching a lot within your community probably as well, over this next 12 months, but more on that another time. And you Taurians born in the second 10 days, or with 9 to 16 degrees rising, are going to feel this energy the most this month. And that's it for September. If you know your rising sign, your moon sign, listen to those. There could be something interesting in there. And I'll see you the next time.